Hello, friends, it's Mr. M. I'm here today to talk to you guys about problem solving, which I know sometimes we have problems in our class where maybe our friends aren't sharing their toys or we're not taking turns. So we're going to learn some problem solving steps to help us solve our problems with our friends. The first thing you got to do is figure out, what is my problem? What's wrong? Maybe somebody took your pencil and won't give it back. So then we got to use our brains and think of some solutions. What is something we could do if somebody took our pencil? Do we take it right back? That's not very nice, though. We could ask the teacher. We could we could ask our friend nicely, say, I was using that pencil and I need it back, please. It's also important to try and remember how everybody else would feel. You don't want to do something that's going to hurt your friend's feelings, because then everybody's going to be sad. And I have here with me a couple cards, well, quiz questions. I want to see if you guys can help me figure out how to solve these problems. And I actually have here, if I can find it, a problem solving wheel, which should be in your packets you guys took home. And this says, what can I do? And it gives you all these different options for solving problems. You can tell somebody to stop. You can share and take turns. You can ignore the problem. You can make a deal. You can go do something else. You can apologize. You can talk it out. You can walk away. And those are just some options. So let's see if we can use our wheel to figure out how to solve these problems. So here's my first question. Somebody comes up to your table and you're playing with the Magna-Tiles and they take away your Magna-Tiles because they want to play with it. Now let's stop. How does that make us feel? Mr. M would be kind of mad if somebody took his Magna-Tiles away from him. And I'm sure you would feel mad too. Should we yell at our friend and say, give me back my Magna-Tiles? Should we throw all the Magna-Tiles to the floor? No, those aren't good manners, and that won't solve our problem. So let's think, what's something we could do? If my friend comes up and takes my Magna-Tiles, I might tell them to stop and say, no, thank you. Those are my Magna-Tiles. You can play with them later. Sometimes our friends might not want to listen to us. And in that case, it's okay to call for Mr. M or Miss Christie. Or if you're at home, you can call for your mom, your grandma, your aunt, your uncle, and say, hey, my friend isn't sharing, and that makes me mad. And it's okay to feel mad, but we don't want to hurt our friends. Let's see if you guys can do another card with me. All right. Ooh, here's a good problem solving. Let's say you borrowed somebody's crayon and you broke it. Ooh, you might be scared to say, hey, I broke your crayon. So we got to think, what can we do? Well, it's always better to tell the truth because we don't want to lie to our friends. So we can go to our friend and say, I'm sorry, I broke your crayon. That's apologizing. And when we apologize, that lets the other person know that we feel bad for what we did. Another thing you could do is maybe give them one of your crayons. And be like, I'm sorry I broke your crayon. You can have this one instead. You guys think that's a good idea? I sure hope you do. All right, I want to see if you guys can do one more with me. Whoa, this one happens to us a lot. All right, you're lining up. Imagine the scene with Mr. M. Picture in your brain. It's time for lunch, and we gotta wash our hands. And we gotta line up in our paw print line to wash our hands. And somebody cuts in front of you. You were just about to wash your hands, and then somebody else comes and cuts in front of you to wash their hands before you get to. And how does that make you feel? That might make you feel mad. You might like stomp your feet and be like, hey, no fair. That was my turn to wash my hands. But is that going to solve our problem? No. We got to think of a good option. So if somebody steps in front of us, I think the best thing to do would be to tell them to stop and be like, hey, I was here first. You need to wait your turn. And maybe your friend doesn't want to wait their turn. And that's when you got to remind them that we all take turns, because sharing is caring, even when it comes to washing our hands and using the sink, because it's very important to wash your hands. And it's just as important to wait our turn and take our time. I also have a couple other pictures here I can show you guys about problem solving. These ones are kind of small. They look silly. Some of our other problems. Oh man, you probably can't read these words. My favorite is this one here in the corner. He's over here making a silly face, making lots of noise. And maybe that happens to you, ooh, probably at home. Maybe you're trying to play with your toy and one of your siblings comes over and they're going all in your face. The best thing to do is to ignore them. You don't have to listen to what they're saying. You just keep playing with your toys. And maybe you might tell them, please stop, or no, thank you. And that's okay, because you want to do your toys right now and you don't want anybody to bother you. Another solution is if you have, this could work for the same thing. Maybe your sibling's coming over and they're taking your toys away from you. You can say, hey, why don't we play together? And you can share the toys, or maybe you can explain to them like, I was gonna build a tower out of these Legos. Why don't you help me build a tower too? You guys thinking that's good ideas? I hope you all know. I'm gonna quiz you on this when you get back to class. Don't think you're gonna have it easy just because you're at home. All right, we'll be seeing you later. Bye.